Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes Report. Frontline Changes Report, and there is a lot of changes, and everything is red. Like everything is red. Like this, Russia have stepped up to yet another gear. So first one is over at the Sivers front. We're gonna go clockwise direction. At the Bilohorivka region, there is another geolocation. As per, if you missed yesterday's report, you may. Then I can't help you. But yesterday, Russian forces was geolocated over here as they attack into this area of the chalk quarry, and this time around there's a new geolocation showing Russian forces taking a southernmost position from the previous geolocation, which means Russian forces is now making serious push into the chalk quarry, and looks like this is the first serious attempt in a long time for the Russians to try to capture this area here. The next frontline change is over at Bodanivka, over at the Bakhmut front. So very serious changes over here. First thing first, the Russian sources claim that Bodanivka has been captured by the Russian forces. Based on Russian claims, the capture is tremendous, and they have already started to enter into Kalinina. So they have already started to enter into Kalinina. Ukrainian mapping is also a lot. Based on Ukrainian mapping, the Russians have taken this much. The Russians have actually taken all these grounds. They basically have taken everything south of Bodanivka and then pop up in the western part of Bodanivka. And I think they have no choice but to acknowledge this, because this is geolocated. So the Russian forces is literally geolocated on the southern or southwestern part of Bodanivka, and basically there's no way to escape it. So based on Ukrainian mapping, they drew it in a very weird way. They drew that the Russian front line, it looks like this. It don't make sense. So they are trying to suggest that the Russians only attack from the south in this way, while the Ukrainian forces are still holding the rest of Bodanivka, which is a bit hard to imagine that to be the case, but of course that is also a possibility. But if you look at Russian mapping, Russian forces have taken literally everything around Bodanivka, full capture of Bodanivka and entering into Kalinina. So this is the report coming from the frontline change. Further south over at Ivanytsky, also massive changes based on Ukrainian mapping. Based on Ukrainian mapping, the Russian forces have taken the entire half of this forest, almost half of the forest north of Ivanytsky in this capture. Based on Russian mapping, it's a bit more further up in the northern part of this area here. If I zoom in a bit, so if you combine the Russian claims, which is here, and the Ukrainian mapping, the Russian forces have basically taken a lot of grounds in this area here. So this is the current situation over at Ivanytsky. And we move away from the Bakhmut front. The next frontline change is over at the Avdiivka front, over at Novokalinove. So yesterday, also similarly, I've already reported in the SITREP about Russian presence in this area here. Allegedly, Ukrainian forces have counterattacked and taken this place, but it seems like a feint. As the Russians hit left, they suddenly punch right. So the Russian forces has been geolocated at this tree line in this push towards Novokalinove from the eastern part, whereas the Ukrainian forces are geolocated on this tree line. Basically, the Russian forces have basically flanked the entire forces and the Ukrainian position, and the Russian forces still have this position in the south, which means that this Ukrainian force is now in the salient. They are now being almost going to be encircled. So this is a developing situation over at Novokalinove. So, and we move further south a bit over at Bedaichi. Based on Russian mapping now, we have just invalidated Russian claims. Previously, the Russian claim is like this, around this area here. We have invalidated it. The new Russian mapping now draw the map like this. So now there is a new claim, and the only geolocation we have is airstrike on Ukrainian positions of this position, just of this capture. So no, it's not the invalidation. So end up we have to redraw this Russian claim about the Russian forces now hitting into the southern part of this pond around here at Badaichi. So we will continue to monitor. Did I say Ivaniski? But yeah, Badaichi. So we move further south from Badaichi. The other frontline change is over in the western part of Tonenke. This is by Russian claims. So Russian claims that they have taken the rest of this tree line, western part of Tonenke, as well as the Ukrainian mapping have acknowledged that the Russians have expanded control a bit in the southwestern part of Tonenke. Based on the Russian mapping, there is also increase of Russian position in the northern part of Vodian, which is over here. This is Vodian. So this is the frontline change over at this area here. Ukrainian forces are now trapped in this salient. I think they will start to withdraw because this is not a position that they want to be in. I think the Ukrainian forces will withdraw from this area here and concentrate their fight over at Netolove, as well as building the new line of defense over at Yasnobrodivka. So this is Vodian. So this is Notilove and Yasnobrodivka. Yeah, so that's all from this frontline changes around here. We move to the next frontline change over at Krasnohorivka. So previously we have reported that round 1 of the Battle of Krasnohorivka has ended with a Ukrainian victory after they totally ejected Russian forces from the south. We have a new, very spectacular footage of the Russian attack towards Krasnohorivka, towards on the southeastern part of Krasnohorivka. You can check out the footage over at DPA archive, and basically the Russian forces have geolocated to go as far as this position. They basically storm through this forest line along this railway line or something, yeah, and then basically landed troops in this area here, which means that the Russian forces is yet returning back into Krasnohorivka, and the Battle of Krasnohorivka has restarted again. So we have the round 2 of Krasnohorivka, and again this also reminds again of the left fin right hook kind of situation, as the Ukrainian forces were concentrated over in the southern part as they ejected the Russian forces from this area of the southern part of Krasnohorivka. Suddenly the Russians hit from a different flank again. So anyway, these are the frontline changes report. The full sitrep will come later, as this is way too much information to cover purely on the frontline changes report. So thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and again, you can check out the DPA Telegram channel. You can check out to follow every single post that DPA is posting. Of course, you can also check out the video footage. There, I don't post everything. There's some of it at the DPA archive. Just search in the YouTube DPA archive. You'll be able to find the channel. Because I don't post war footages on these reports because it will get demonetized. The video will get demonetized. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next update.